When did I learn that love had to be earned? Have you ever noticed that children don't ask themselves if they're worthy of love? They don't. I've got two boys, and neither one of my kids have ever woken up in the morning wondering if they're enough. They just assume that they are. They assume that they're lovable. They assume that they're safe. They assume that the people who are there to love them love them. And then life starts teaching all of us otherwise, not with lectures, with moments, tiny moments, moments so ordinary that no one else would ever even notice them. People lie, but patterns don't. If you feel yourself getting dusty, here is your permission to get off that shelf. You've got this. And I'm flying right alongside you. Looking back now, I don't think that I learned that love had to be earned all at once. I think I learned it in one interaction at a time, one disappointment at a time, one adaptation at a time, until one day, without even realizing it, I stopped simply loving people and I started auditioning for them. And I've been thinking a lot about where that started for me, and I think I know. One of my earliest memories is actually one of my happiest. I'm about 3 years old, and I'm sitting in this tiny little yellow folding chair in my Cabbage Patch pajamas watching Fraggle Rock. It's a Saturday morning, it's in the dark, and my dad is sitting with me. And he brings me this bowl of sliced bananas that are swimming in cold milk with sugar sprinkled all on top. And I can still remember the crunch of the sugar before it dissolved in my mouth. I remember how cold that milk was because it would drip down my chin. And I remember how good those bananas tasted. My daddy had them sliced just right. More than anything, I remember how special I felt. I felt like he and I just had this perfect little world together between us, me and my daddy and my cartoons and my bananas. Nothing spectacular happened that morning. Nobody won the lottery and there was no big grand speech, but for me, that memory sticks with me. And I just remember thinking, wow, I am his girl. This is what it really feels like to be loved. And I felt safe and warm and comfortable and special and seen. And if you've ever had a memory like that, you know exactly what I mean. You know, the funny thing about childhood is that we don't remember each and every day, right? We remember the days that our nervous system tells us that we matter or that we don't. Because then I have another memory. And this one, I wish I didn't. I'm about 5 years old and I'm sitting on the countertop and my mom is unloading the dishes and she's getting ready to make dinner. And my dad walks in from work and instantly the energy changed in the room. He wasn't looking at us. He was looking at all the things in the room that weren't done. A doll over here, a cup over there, the fact that dinner wasn't on the stove. And the room instantly gets filled with criticism. And I remember looking at my mom and I remember looking at him and I couldn't understand how someone who'd made me feel so loved on one day could feel so far away from me on the next. And so I did what little kids do. I tried to fix it and I thought, well, surely he's not mad at me. He must be mad at her, but not me. So I followed him up the stairs because I thought maybe he just needed a hug. Maybe he had a bad day and maybe I could make him smile. So before I could even say a word, just at the top of the stairs, he turned around and he looked at me and he slammed the bedroom door in my face. And to this day, I can still hear that door. I can still feel the rush of the air as it whisked past my face and I could feel those baby hairs on the sides of my temples just wagging. And I can still remember sitting there thinking, this has got to be some kind of mistake. I wasn't thinking, my dad is emotionally unavailable. Because that's not what 5-year-olds think. They don't think like that. I thought, how do I fix this? And that question began to change my life because children are brilliant and they're constantly trying to make sense of the world. The problem with that is that children almost always blame themselves before they question the adults that they're dependent upon. And looking back right now, I don't think that I decided I wasn't lovable. I decided I just needed to become more useful. So maybe if I got good grades, or maybe if I made him laugh, maybe if I became the best artist in the school, maybe if I learned how to make his favorite cocktail, maybe if I went around the corner and bought his favorite cigarettes, maybe if I anticipated what he needed before he asked, then it would be okay. Because maybe then, that door would open. And I didn't realize it then. But I wasn't just trying to make my father happy. I was creating a blueprint for how to love. Without knowing it, I was teaching myself that love wasn't something you received. It was something that you had to earn by performing and producing and anticipating and helping and fixing and solving and becoming indispensable. And the crazy part is, that belief actually made me really successful. It made me driven. It made me observant. It made me resourceful. It made me compassionate. It made me funny, actually. It made me the woman that everybody could count on. But most importantly, it also made me the woman who couldn't understand why she kept attracting relationships where she kept having to prove herself. I gave friends and men and family my attention, my time, my thoughtfulness, my kindness, my grace, my energy, my forgiveness, my thoughtfulness, my body, most of the time before they'd ever earned any of it. Because somewhere deep down inside of me, I was still that little girl standing in that hallway. Still hoping that if I just loved well enough, that one day that door would open. And here's what 43-year-old Lauren is learning now that 5-year-old Lauren could never have possibly even known. It was never a little girl's job to fix a grown man's problems. It was never her responsibility to earn consistency from someone who could ever even give it. And it was never her job to become useful enough to deserve love. Love isn't a paycheck. It isn't a promotion. It isn't a prize that you win for some exceptional performance. Healthy love is given freely. It requires effort to nurture, and it should never require you to audition for a place in someone else's heart. That little girl did exactly what she needed to do to survive, and I absolutely don't judge her for that. In fact, I actually really love and honor her for that, because she became brilliant and resilient and extraordinary. And now it's my job to tell her something that she should have heard a very long time ago. And I'm going to tell it to you too. Sweet girl, you don't have to fix anyone to be worthy of love. You don't have to earn your place. You don't have to become successful enough for someone to choose you, because guess what? You already are. And maybe, just maybe, that's what healing is. Not pretending that those moments didn't happen, not blaming everyone who hurt us, but healing is finally recognizing the invisible agreements that we've made with ourselves as children, and then deciding that they don't get to write the rest of our story. So before I go, I want to leave you with 3 questions, the same 3 questions I'm going to be sitting with this week. Number 1, what belief did you learn before you were old enough to question it? Number 2, where in your life are you still trying to earn something that should have been given so freely? And number 3, what would you change if you believed that your worth had never been up for negotiation? I know it's a lot, but next week, I really want to talk about the women who came before me, the women who taught me how to carry everything, because somewhere along the way, I confused being needed with being loved. And we'll talk about that next time. Same chair. I'll say same coffee, but I don't even have any coffee. What the hell? But same conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps to push this message out to more people who need it. And it's free for you. I love us, and you got this. I hope that this truth sets you free. Thank you for being here. See you next time.